Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Troy Trojan Vision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending on January 20th, 2023. I'm Paige Ray. We begin our broadcast with changes to Troy University's weapons policy. Thanks to new state legislation, it's now legal to carry concealed weapons without a permit in the state of Alabama. In light of that legislation, Troy has changed its own policy when it comes to weapons on any of its campuses. Emma Ellis explains.
Looking to conceal carry on campus? Think again.
Guns are not allowed on campus. Not in our buildings, not in our dorms, not out in open areas or public places.
But what about in our cars?
Guns are allowed in vehicles under certain specific conditions.
These conditions include keeping your gun hidden from view and locked in a secure compartment.
A locked glove compartment is okay. A small gun locker or gun box with a lock on it, gun in there, locked under a seat, hidden from view, fine. In a trunk, fine.
Not fine? In a middle console or anywhere that can't be locked. If an officer finds a gun that isn't secured, the consequences could be severe.
Suspension up to expulsion.
And those consequences will apply to everyone.
Students, faculty, staff, vendors, guests, visitors, anybody who sets foot on any Troy University property.
For more information about the updated weapons policy, contact the Troy University Police Department.
Before the spring semester even started, Troy University remained busy celebrating students, specifically those in the nursing program. That celebration stemmed from Troy University's School of Nursing introducing a new student apprenticeship program. Emma Ellis has that story too.
It's an event we generally associate with sports, a signing day. This time, though, student nurses were the ones putting ink to paper.
I am very blessed to have received this opportunity. I'm so grateful to be able to participate in this. I'm really excited for what's in store, and I'm really excited to learn new skills and be able to apply it on the floor.
This opportunity comes as the School of Nursing launches its student apprenticeship program.
This is really an exciting day for us. I think most people are aware that there is a significant shortage of nurses, and coming out of the pandemic, we're feeling that even more so than before. So this opportunity to bring on board these apprentices and have them with us as they're going through nursing school is tremendous.
Not only will students be paid to further their education, they'll also have a better chance of finding a job post-graduation.
It would be our absolute privilege to hire them at our hospital. They have the opportunity to go elsewhere should they choose, but we are really hoping that we're going to create a strong relationship with them and that they'll want to stay with us.
This program comes at a time that local health leaders say is critical as healthcare workers continue fighting a healthcare worker shortage.
We have always been a little short on nurses, but it just really magnified with COVID. We saw naturally a number of nurses that unfortunately chose to do something differently during the COVID crisis, so we're still catching up from that.
As nurses work to meet the demand of people who need expert care, leaders at both Flowers and Baptist Health say this program and class is likely a step in the right direction.
This is a great partnership in between Troy University and Flowers Hospital, and really helping to solve a piece of the nursing shortage.
Emma Ellis, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Many of you watching know that Troy Trojan Vision News is a program that gives college students hands-on experience in journalism. Recently, Trojan Vision took steps to make sure high school students get a similar opportunity. Mackenzie Foster has the story.
Troy Trojan Vision made a helpful donation to Banks Middle School journalism students. The donation included cameras, tripods, and other broadcast equipment that will help the students create content for the school. With Banks School being familiar with Troy University and Trojan Vision, the donation was made to create a better connection with the middle schoolers that have an interest in journalism.
We have these cameras We had upgraded a few years ago our cameras, and these had just been sitting in a drawer. And so we decided it's best served to help out someone, and why not help out someone in our backyard here at Banks? And we have an established relationship, and so we wanted to make sure that these young journalists have the opportunities to explore their journalism the best way possible. And that's through the use of this equipment.
Pike County Schools Superintendent Mark Bazell was in attendance for the presentation of the donation. Bazell says that the partnership and donation between Troy University and Banks School will mean a lot to the students and the program.
The journalism program started here at Banks, started a number of years ago with just basically bare bones. And, it's grown every year. And, I'm so excited for the kids and the fact that they're going to be able to grow in this program. We're in a new facility, and this equipment is going to just make the program bigger and better.
The Banks School journalism students have their own broadcast program called Bobcat News. With their new equipment, Bazell is excited to see the progression of the content they already work hard on.
The fact that they're going to be able to utilize this equipment to generate, they're not going to be limited to generating content just in their classroom. They're going to be able to take this equipment and go out and generate content, outside the school and even in other locations. The programs that they're producing are great, but this equipment will contribute to improved sound quality during the presentations and those kinds of things.
Mackenzie Foster, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Still to come, the spring semester is now officially underway. How are students handling the first week back? That story and more is on the way in this edition of The Week That Was.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it. If I give my heart to
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back. As students return to campus, many have already set their goals for the new semester. Danielle Wormsby hit the campus to learn what students hope to accomplish this spring.
Troy University students returned to campus for spring semester on Wednesday. Classes resumed after time off for winter break.
First day of school was really great. I enjoyed all of my teachers. I had big classes, small classes, and showed up to all of them on time, so that was good.
My first day of school went really well. I love all my teachers. They're very nice.
Students all around campus each have their own goals they want to achieve this semester.
Attend all my classes, try to have no absences, and just stay on top of my work.
And I want to continue my education and eventually get like a doctorate degree, so I have to get good grades and do well to do that.
Some students are trying to keep up with their classes while also planning to get more involved on campus.
I plan to be a bit more organized with my social life, trying to balance my social life with my classes. I want to get out there. I mean, I'm part of ISCO, but I want to, branch out a lot more and, gain more friends and make more connections.
Students can be on the lookout for information about campus events in their Troy email.
I think I'm going to have lots of fun and make new friends and do new stuff.
Danielle Wormsby, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's the first week of the spring semester, so several students haven't had to take any exams yet. But one organization is ringing in the new school year by testing students' presidential proficiency. Emily Clegg shows us how.
On Thursday evening, Troy University's College Republicans hosted a presidential trivia night to promote their organization.
I figured it would have a broad interest, and it would attract a lot of people, and it would be a great way to get a lot of like politically minded people in general to be interested in the club.
Questions from the night ranged in difficulty, from who was the first president to who was the first president to be impeached by the House. Every student had the opportunity to have fun and learn something.
I liked hearing just the few tidbits the guy who ran it had to tell us. It was pretty interesting. Most of my presidential knowledge comes from bonus questions I had in sophomore year history.
The winner of the night's festivities says that reading is what gave him enough presidential knowledge to win.
I love a good autobiography. Anything U.S. history related is pretty much where I stand.
Weathers also gives insight on some of the purposes of the College Republicans organization.
College Republicans are a group of students on most college campuses across the state. We focus on the grassroots wing of the Republican Party, getting people out to vote, getting people knocking on doors, making phone calls for candidates.
All right, thanks, Emily. Well, as students settled back into class and their routine, some chose to start the semester on a musical note. Tuesday night, students hit the stage and grabbed the mic during back-to-school karaoke. Belle Johnson has more.
Tuesday night, Troy University New Era held a back-to-school karaoke night. The event was a way for students to have fun and to get to know new people.
Tonight marks the first event of the spring semester, and tonight we're having a karaoke night. We're really hosting it to get to know more people on campus because new people have come to Troy University, and this karaoke night helps others loosen up around people they never met. It's more like a family bonding night.
Those who attended were able to sing along to their favorite songs and enjoy walking tacos, while also having the opportunity to reach out to people they may not know.
I feel like everybody's getting a chance to show their vocals and express their voice during the karaoke night, and everybody's having a good time, eating a lot of food and, getting to know each other.
The karaoke night was just one of the many events Troy University New Era, also known as TUNE, has been a part of.
It was basically a group that was started after the choirs was shut down on campus. We are a gospel choir. We are family oriented. We perform at different events, just try to get involved with the students.
In the time since it was founded, the members of TUNE have become a close-knit group who consider each other family.
It has done more for me since I joined TUNE. It has brought me a family away from home, which I never had since I came here. And it could do that for more people.
If you are interested in joining TUNE, they will have an interest meeting January 19th at 7 p.m. in Patterson 107.
If you like singing and have been in a choir or anything, this is really the best thing for you to have an interest, because it puts you out there, and they travel all different places and sing at different churches and do community service and everything.
Belle Johnson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Still to come on the week that was, Troy students hear from professionals in their desired fields. What advice these experts are giving students ahead of their future careers.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Welcome back. Several Troy journalism students could be one step closer to scoring a post-graduation job in the journalism industry. Thursday, representatives with Gray Television, the second largest broadcast company in the country, spoke with students about the industry and what they need to know before graduation. Simon Schusler has that story.
What are you selling? Students in the Hall School of Journalism and Communication had a very unique opportunity this afternoon, and they got to taste two things: the adult world, and pizza. News directors under media company Gray Communications from all across the region gathered here in Troy to review and recruit students to help them succeed in their post-college endeavors.
This is a program that gets students immaculately prepared for the real world, which, y'all ought to be thankful for the schooling that you get, because you will be one step ahead of folks when they graduate out there and the peers that you'll be working with.
Students were able to attend a Lunch and Learn event where they were able to hear from those in the profession, as well as being able to understand the industry better from an insider perspective. And students were also able to get their resume reviewed by the news directors themselves, giving them valuable insight on what they need to improve, as well as what their strengths are before they enter the workforce.
The resume reel is the most important thing that you've got if you're trying to get a job on the air in broadcast journalism. So getting that right when you come out of journalism school is very important. When you get the opportunity to talk to somebody who's got experience in the field that can tell you what they're looking for, it gives you a better opportunity to getting that first job once you graduate.
And although most of the attendees were in the journalism field, skills from other fields can translate into a successful career with the station as well.
Journalism majors are set up for success straight out of school, but we've got several people working at WTVY that did not major in journalism. And we've got a lot of opportunities where you can be very successful if you majored in something, for example, like communications. If you're great at video producing, every day we shoot, write, and edit video that we need to power our television station and the digital platforms that we serve.
If you want to learn more about Gray Communications and their affiliated stations, you can visit gray.tv. Simon Schuessler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Thanks, Simon. Some Troy art students are getting a sneak peek at a local artist's work this week. Right now, Selma artist Jerry Siegel is preparing for his photography exhibit at the International Art Center. He's also teaching students the best way to display art. Kaylee Wright has more.
Aspiring artists learn about what goes on behind the scenes at an art exhibit as a part of the exhibition techniques class. However, the students had the unique opportunity to meet the artist and curator responsible for the International Art Center's next installment.
Most people don't get to meet the team that goes behind an exhibit, and so it was just a unique opportunity for them to be able to listen to why certain images were chosen, as Jerry's work is photography, and also how an exhibit gets a name.
The man behind the camera creates the art, but the curator is the mastermind behind how it is seen. According to the artist, Jerry Siegel, the curator finds the artist and organizes the show.
I offer them things that I feel strongly about. I don't just open up everything I've ever done, So if it's work that's here, it's work that I feel strongly about, but then they have a larger body to choose from, and then they get to that's their job, is to tell their story with my work.
The students learn that where the curator places the art is meant to be impactful. For instance, this large panoramic photo is being placed on a temporary wall inside of the museum so that the viewer coming in will be drawn to it.
When someone first walks in the front door, it's difficult to see all of the wall going down either side because you're at a 90-degree angle to anything that would be hanging there. So I asked Carrie if it would be possible to put a temporary wall in the middle of the space.
Thanks, Kaylee. Monday, the country took time to remember the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Here in Troy, Dr. King's life is being remembered for not just one day, but several. Emma Ellis tells us more about what's being called MLK Days of Service.
The Civic Lab focuses on creating social awareness in the Troy community. Wednesday, they focused their efforts on cleaning up a local park.
A lot of people may not know that this little cute park exists here, but it's something that's very beneficial, as you probably can notice in the playground. Like, kids come to play, but we really want them to have somewhere clean, not very nasty to kind of play in, but have somewhere safe to be in.
This is a place where children can come together and play, but playgrounds can also collect a lot of germs and mold.
We noticed that in this park there were a lot of mold and mildew that was growing on these parks, so So we wanted to take time out to grab some buckets, some soap, and really scrub down these playgrounds to get all of that nasty green mold and mildew off of the playgrounds.
This park cleanup, however, is not just what it seems at first glance. Through this event, the Civic Lab hopes to honor a historical figure.
The original thought process is to honor Martin Luther King's legacy of service. A lot of times his service goes unnoticed and passed in history, but he really made a really huge impact with even just small things that he did in his community.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "I have a dream that little black boys and girls will be holding hands with little white boys and girls." Today, the Civic Lab aimed to help in the realization of his dream by cleaning up Murphy Park to provide a safe environment for children to play together.
He served people so well, and I feel like considering he served people so well, we should serve others just as well.
Emma Ellis, Troy, TrojanVision News.
When we return, we're heading to the basketball court and getting ready for this baseball and softball season's first pitch. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire before leaving. Drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
Welcome back. The Trojan women's basketball team's first home game of 2023 was a success both on the scoreboard and on the bench. Not only did the Trojans pick up a win, they also welcomed back a player they thought they wouldn't see play again on the Trojan Arena court. Simon Schussler has the details.
Just a couple of weeks ago on December 29th, this Trojan women's basketball team was 5-7 after losing their first conference game in a nail-biter to Southern Miss. One thing about Coach Shanda Rigby's teams throughout the years, though, has been their fortitude and resilience, this year being no different. When the squad took the court to play Saturday versus Louisiana, you could tell that the energy was different. The squad had since won 4 consecutive straight conference games, and they were striving to make it 5. The biggest difference to the squad, though, is who suited up as a starter for the first time since last season, Amber Leggett. She posted a double-double in her first start, proving that although she was away from the game for a bit, she didn't lose that competitive edge.
Oh, I was a little nervous this morning, but I got here, we had our shoot-around, and it went away. I was super excited. I'm happy it happened at home. The fans definitely got that monkey off my back.
However, Louisiana wanted to make sure she had a tough return back to the starting lineup because the Ragin' Cajuns, well, they were raging. It was a scrappy back-and-forth game throughout, which makes sense as the Trojans were facing the top defensive-rated team in the conference. Just to give you an idea, both teams would end up with 20 turnovers by the end of this thing. Troy would go into the half up 3, but it was clear the game was still up in the air at half.
These players are as hard-nosed as our players. I'll say that for them. I believe many times that these are the 2 hard-nosed teams in the conference, even though there's so many talented teams. It's just never easy.
The second half, well, it was more of the same. Troy shot a poor 31% in the third, but were still up by a singular point with 1 quarter remaining. Want to guess what happened? Well, with 2 hard-nosed teams like this, it would only make sense to go to overtime. Before the beginning of the OT period, Rigby gave some advice to her team.
We kept saying, sprint the floor, everybody, every time. Try not to foul them because they take so much time at the free throw line trying to rest. They're not, a really deep team. He doesn't play a lot of people. We feel like we were in better condition than them. So we were trying to keep the game really fast.
And that seemed like all the difference. The overtime period belonged to the Trojans as they outscored Louisiana 14-7 in the period. That strategy held the Ragin' Cajuns to a very low 23% from the field in overtime, leading to a 78-85 victory for the Trojans.
Well, yeah, we run every practice, so we should be in shape. They just tell us to run the floor every time to get them tired, so that's what we do.
Staying with sports, we're still a few weeks away from the start of the baseball and softball season, but Troy University is preparing for that first pitch. Later this month, Troy's second annual First Pitch Banquet will return to campus. We learn more in this edition of Trojan Talk. Welcome to this edition of Trojan Talk. I'm Paige Ray. Joining us today is Kyle George with Troy Athletics. Kyle, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me here today.
Of course. So we're talking about a pretty cool event that's really new to the university, and that's the First Pitch Banquet, right?
Absolutely.
This is the second year for it, right?
Correct. This is our second year for this. It's a great opportunity to get ready for the upcoming baseball and softball seasons. We add this as a chance to really support these programs financially, because this is a fundraising opportunity for them. But as you get ready for the baseball and softball seasons, it gives our fans a chance to get some behind-the-scenes information, hear directly from the coaches, and also get a chance to visit the student athletes themselves.
Absolutely. And correct me if I'm wrong, we have a first-year head coach on the softball side, correct? So
we do.
This is a chance for people to meet him.
Absolutely. We're very excited about Coach Eric Newell and his entire staff for the softball program. Eric came to us by way of Auburn University Montgomery and won significant number of games there, has several records from his time at AUM, has been a winner everywhere he's been in his coaching career, but really excited to have Eric right here in Troy leading the softball program. And we're entering the second year of Skylar Mead leading our baseball program. Yes. Had great success last season, made a run to the semifinals of the Sun Belt Conference baseball tournament. So both teams really primed for great success heading into 2023.
Absolutely. And in addition to meeting those coaches, they're going to be meeting players, which of course is really exciting for the fans. But let's also talk about what it does for the players to be face to face with the people who really love and support them.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great point. We added this part last year we had done a variety of style of events, whether it be with basketball and football and such. But one of the things we realized is the fans want to get a chance to interact with the student athletes more as well. So the way we structure it for the First Pitch Banquet is you'll have a baseball and a softball student athlete at your table throughout the dinner. You get a chance to get to know them more, ask them questions about where they're from and such. And like you said, for our student athletes, now they get a chance to get to know the fans a little bit more too, and when they're at the games, they look up and see, hey, I know that person, and then I hit that personal connection part. And I really think that's what makes it so special here in Troy is you've got those connections with our student athletes, but as our student athletes look at it too, now they get to know you personally, and they also get a chance to kind of work on, hey, this is how things work in the business world and such, and getting to get a little more personal confidence beyond just being on the field themselves.
Absolutely. So as a quick catch up, you can meet the coaches, you can meet the players, but there's also different things you can do at the banquet as well, as far as there's a raffle, is that right?
We have a silent auction that takes place there, so all items throughout the night there, that'll be placed right there in the middle of the room there for it. So several fun events throughout the evening there, but the silent auction is one of get some great items to bid on there for it, plus you're going to financially support the baseball and softball program. So maybe you're thinking, hey, I want to make a donation to the program. Well, might as well come and bid on some items that you can take home and enjoy yourself there. Some of that will be memorabilia. Some of that will be some experiences. We'll have great items for fans to get a chance to bid on throughout the evening there. The program itself too, yes, you'll get a chance to hear from the coaches. You get a chance to do some Q&As with the student athletes. We'll have some fun videos as well too to show some personality. And I tell you what, we got some great personalities on both of these teams there. So it will be a fun night to come out, have a great time, and celebrate the upcoming seasons.
And the upcoming seasons are something that a lot of people are looking forward to. We're going into them very, very soon, right?
Absolutely. We're counting down the days here. February 17th for baseball season, February 10th, a week prior to that for softball. So a lot of excitement coming up here for them. And we've got their fan days coming up too at Trojan Arena very soon as well on February 4th. So just a few weeks away from all these things taking place. I know I've rattled off a few dates there. You can find all that information online at TroyTrojans.com.
Perfect. And one big date that we really want to hammer home is when this First Pitch Banquet is and where it is.
Absolutely. Friday, January 27th. Starts at 6:30 p.m. in Trojan Arena. Come out and join us. If you haven't bought your tickets already, you can do so online at TroyTrojans.com/tickets. You can get there directly by visiting TroyTrojans.com/firstpitch. Go straight in there to it. $75 per ticket, $600 for an entire table. And again, all proceeds will benefit equally the baseball and softball program.
It's going to be a really cool event, and we know it's going to be a success because also football and basketball has done a very similar event in the past. So for people who may be familiar with those events, Is it pretty much going to be very similar to what those events were?
It will be. Very similar setup there for it. Great meal provided for all
Yes.
fans as part of that. We'll have an open bar for everybody to enjoy as well too. So again, it will be a great evening for everybody to be a part of. Check-in process taking place in the upper level of Trojan Arena, and you'll find your seats down below.
Perfect. And thank you so much, Kyle, for joining us. I know it's going to be a great event. I'm really excited to get to see it.
Absolutely.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, tune into Troy Trojan Vision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Friday. You can also visit us anytime on the new Troy Trojan Vision News blog at troy.troy.edu/TrojanVision to see online content from Troy Trojan Vision News. We appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, we hope you have a good week.